Good morning, all you beautiful people. I am here in the kitchen again today. And today I'm going to do a little video about saving and reusing containers. Storage stuff is getting expensive. Let's be honest, guys, everything is getting expensive. So, what I've been doing is saving plastic containers. Like this one was actually a pickle jar. Big size. I mean, like, it was big pickles, guys. So, I just actually took the label off of this. I used a baking powder. Okay, make sure it's baking powder, not baking soda. But I soaked it in the sink with some baking soda or see, I even made the mistake. I soaked it in the sink with some baking powder overnight. The label came off. There is a little bit of like tackiness left. So I'm probably gonna either come at this with some oil, or if I can't get it off with like a vegetable oil or an olive oil, then I might do a Goo Gone and then wash it really, really well when I'm done. And that I can use this for food storage. I can use it forever if I or for whatever. If I really wanted to, I could even paint this or decorate it and make it look like, I mean, this almost looks like a mason jar, right? You could absolutely paint this to look like a mason jar container. Currently, I'm not that crafty. I don't have the time to do that kind of stuff, but that is definitely an idea I have for this guy in the future. This one here was a water jug. We actually kept it in the car for our dogs. We go to the beach a lot. We go hiking. We wanted to make sure we always had water with us. Well, we go to the beach. We go hiking. Our car gets dirty. And so did this water jug. So it's not really anything I would want to use in like a food storage application, or even like for crafts, for arts and crafts for the kids. But there's a use for it that is absolutely amazing. What I'm doing is I'm just using my kitchen shears to poke a hole in here. I poked it right up close to kind of close to the neck of the bottle here. And now I'm just going to cut into, let me see if I can angle it so you can see what I'm doing here. Cut into the jug, and I'm going to cut around. Oh, and it's kind of hard and you have to bend it. But the really important part is once I get up here, I'm going to stay as close to the opening as I can because I want to keep this handle intact for what I'm going to use it for. So I'm going to cut around, and then I'm going to look at the size of my opening here. I have to make sure it's big enough for what I want to use it for. You could use this scoop for anything because it becomes a scoop, okay? Now, for what I need it for, I need a bigger opening than this. So I'm actually going to come back. You know, maybe if I had more muscles, this would be less chaotic. And I know that having scissors pointed relatively close to my face is probably not a great idea. Don't try this at home, kids. Put it on the counter or something. And I try not to be wasteful, so I cut only a little bit back, and I think I'm actually going to make this a little wider, but I'm going to do that later so you guys don't have to watch me. But I'm going to use this for a feed scoop. I have tons of animals. I have tons of chickens. I need to get a lot of food at a time, and these containers are actually really handy and helpful, and it gives it a second life before I put it in the recycle bin. These usually, like when I cut one open and use it, they usually last me for months, sometimes longer depending on how good they are taken care of. My kids have a tendency to leave them out in the pasture, they get trampled, but then they get washed off and they get put in the recycle. So I'm just giving it another life before I send it off to be processed. I make my own laundry detergent, and I know that there are some debates about whether this is an eco-friendly product or not. However, I have animals. My clothes stink. So I buy the OxiClean with the odor blasters, and I use it in my homemade laundry detergent. I add it in with, what else do I use? Washing soda, baking soda, soap flakes. I don't take the time. You can actually buy bars of laundry soap and grate them. I don't take the time to do that. I bought the pre-grated soap flakes, and they work wonderfully. And then I also put some of those scent boosters in there too, because I'm not totally willing to give up my good smelling laundry yet. but I'm trying to move towards being more economical and hopefully more eco-friendly. But I know I still have ways to go. So what I'll probably wind up doing with these guys is I saw a hack where you can take like acetone and try to remove, because I don't think this is a classic label. I think this is something that was printed on the container. But I saw that if you take acetone or a nail polish remover that has acetone in it and you wipe this down, that it will take off all of the print, and the dyes apparently works on like sour cream containers and all of that. So if you need a container, just try that out. I will try it and I'll report back. Maybe I'll even do a video about it, because I don't have anything yet to store these guys in, but you bet your bottom dollar I will soon, because there is always new stuff here on the homestead. So then I just take the pieces and recycle them, and that's it. Like, you can take any container. If you go to the farmer's market, take your old mason jars. First of all, see if the vendor would like their jars back. Oftentimes they'll offer a discount, like 50 cents or $1 off your next jar of jelly or whatever, if you bring the jar back to them. Not all do, so make sure you ask. But that's a good way that you can be reusing and recycling, because then that person can use that mason jar to can their next batch of jam. It just needs to be cleaned and sterilized, and it's good to go. Another thing that you can do with mason jars is use them for storage in your own house. Put, nuts, dried fruits, anything that you want. Like, and they look really cute stacked along the back of a counter. I actually have these glass containers that I use. I got these at Big Lots, and they're pretty cheap actually. This one needs a wash. It's empty. That's why it's sitting on my counter. But these are really good too. The downside to these is I had to go buy them. So try to reuse what you can. Get creative with things. Start to use your imagination about, how can I give this thing a new life before I send it off for somebody to process it again, because recycling is a great thing, but it also requires emissions. It also requires things that, if we can do without them, let's do without them. Give it another life before you send it off. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!